Tom Taylor and Bruno Redondo continue Dick Grayson's battle against Blockbuster as the corrupt city officials of Bludhaven try every trick in the book to shut Haven down, but Dick has an ace up his sleeve. Tom Taylor delivers another thoroughly satisfying issue of Nightwing, and one that contains a lot of answers and some resolutions to plot points. I really enjoyed the way Dick got a win over the corrupt cops, and did so as Dick Grayson, allowing him to show the city that it can be done without a mask. Some actual progression on Heartless's plot as well happened, and while his identity is still a mystery, we do learn a lot about him, like how he's a cyborg, or mostly cyborg, and has his own butler, like how Batman had Alfred or Deathstroke had Wintergreen. Thanks to his confrontation with Blockbuster as well, I get the feeling we're going to get a Blockbuster Nightwing team up of sorts against Heartless, since Heartless threatens both of them and what they want for the city. So I assume there will be a partnership coming. They'll probably put their differences aside and team up, or there'll be a deal struck where Dick gets what he wants and Blockbuster gets mostly what he wants. Dick also made a big move in his relationship with Barbara, telling her that he loves her. It was a very in the moment thing, and they very quickly waved it off since it was quite awkward for both of them, but it was really nice to see that development finally take root and have it done in kind of a realistic way as well, where it just sort of comes out and they both don't know really what to do with it at the time. Bruno Redondo again continues to paint Dick's adventures with some brilliant action sequences and even better character focus sequences. The bridge stunt Nightwing does with his bike was awesome, and I love Redondo always finds a cool and unique way to frame the action and give us a really cinematic shot of it. Nightwing issue 93 was another fantastic issue that pushed the plot forward in some interesting ways, finally revealing some big info on Heartless, giving Dick Grayson a win against the corrupt officials, and even taking Barbara and Dick's relationship into its next logical step. I'm going to give this issue a 10 out of 10. Nightwing issue 93 sees Blockbuster and Heartless confront each other as Roland threatens the villain after he killed all his men, but Heartless says that Roland would be interested in what he has to say. He says that the city is on the cusp of something wonderful, wanting the city to feel hope, but then he wants to snatch it away from it and tear out its heart and for it to grieve for what was lost. Roland doesn't think that sounds like a request like Heartless says it was, so the villain explains that he wants a kingdom and everything Blockbuster has in Bludhaven, but he wants Roland to name his price for it all, not wanting to take it from him. Blockbuster however attacks, smashing his fist down on Heartless, but the villain blocks it, allowing Heartless to grab his gun and catch Blockbuster off guard. Heartless however decides not to take Roland's heart since no one would miss him, telling him if he won't sell his city, he'll just take it since this is the only thing Roland would be hurt by. Having enough of Heartless and his games, Blockbuster grabs his desk and throws it at the villain, tossing them both out of the window of the skyscraper. Blockbuster calls Commissioner Maclean, needing a cleanup crew on his floor, as Nightwing meanwhile gets to work cleaning off the graffiti on Alfred's statue on Haven, as Oracle tells him that she's running facial recognition on the people who vandalized the park, wondering if exposing them and punishing them will make Dick feel better. Dick thinks it definitely will, as Oracle quickly tells him of a group moving towards him in the park. Nightwing is suddenly attacked by cops who open fire on him as he knows the cops were corrupt, but shooting him for cleaning up is ludicrously crooked, wondering what posed the bigger threat, the cloth or the bucket, as he uses both of them to disarm the officers. Oracle tells him to get out of the area as more cops arrive in their cars, so Nightwing fetches his motorbike, speeding away from the scene as the cops pursue him down the road. Heading along the highways of Bludhaven, Nightwing is told the roads ahead are closed, so Dick thinks now's as good a time as any to go off-roading, firing a grapple from the front of the bike up into the street lamps, using the cable to swing the bike off a bridge and onto a nearby rooftop. Oracle thinks that he should probably stay at the hill tonight, and Dick agrees, escaping the cops and heading there. The next morning, Dick learns from Barbara that she compiled a list of the men that were unmasked at the park, wanting Dick to see who they are. Dick is shocked to find who they are, thinking that it's terrible but also great news, telling Barbara that he loves her. Both realize what Dick just said as he quickly apologizes since it just slipped out. Luckily, the awkwardness is cut by Dick's phone ringing with a call from Melinda, who tells him him that he needs to get to Haven quickly since Commissioner Maclean is using what happened the previous day to be a bastard. In the park, the cops begin harassing the kids of Haven as Dick arrives, demanding the cops tell him what they are doing. Commissioner Maclean confronts Dick, explaining that he has tripled the police presence thanks to Dick claiming that the place is a welcoming space. Dick doesn't think that will be welcoming with kids being treated like criminals and subject to body searches, but Maclean says that a lot of the kids there are criminals and they are just protecting the city, and they wouldn't want anything to happen to Dick's little project. Dick demands the cops get out of there, but Commissioner smugly says that he needs to accept that he isn't in control of every situation. The news stations soon arrive and Maclean reveals that he invited the media to talk about the terrible criminal activities of the area and what the police are doing about it. Dick tells Oracle to enact their plan, and she and Haley both do as Commissioner Maclean addresses the gathered media, knowing that they were always concerned that the area would attract undesirables, and it's sad the people of the area would go against those who are trying to protect them. Dick tells him and the reporters that there is a video of the attack, but Maclean knows that all of the cameras in the area were taken offline. Dick questions if that's something teen vandals could do like Maclean says they could, but Maclean waves it away, knowing the people who did this were masked. Dick wants everyone to judge for themselves, telling the people the footage has gone live to every major news network, and he independently identified all of the vandals as members of the police department. The reporters erupt with questions for the commissioner, who demands to know where the video came from, but Dick tells the man that he needs to accept that he isn't in control of every situation. Later on, Dick doesn't think that could have gone any better, learning from Barbara that it was actually Haley who did the real legwork there. Dick thinks they need to talk about what's next, but Barbara wants him to worry about that later since it's not often they get a win like this and they never know what Bludhaven will hit them with next. The injured Heartless meanwhile returns to his lair where his butler Gerald greets him. Heartless tells him that he was overconfident and underestimated a brute. Heartless lays down on a medical table as Gerald plugs a data cable into one of the ports on his arms, discovering that his enhancements are intact but his heart will need to be replaced. Heartless knew the heart he had on was almost done as Gerald fetches one of the hundreds Heartless is keeping close by.